Cuphead is one of the best soundtracks in games. If you're a fan of big band and swing, that is a wacky soundtrack to go along with a wacky game. Wacky, yes. Memorable, also yes. Cuphead released in 2017. This is straight from their Bandcamp page. Cuphead was released in 2017, composed by Christopher Madigan. The Cuphead OST features nearly 3 hours of original jazz, early big band, and ragtime music. Mm-hmm. Each song is played by live musicians, including a 13-piece big band, 10-piece ragtime ensemble, a solo pianist, a vocalist, a tap dancer, and a few surprises.
Yeah, some of the music does include tap dancing. I don't remember what track it is.
Yeah, I would say... Yeah, you go for it. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what track it is.
I don't remember.
It's one of the bosses from the third island.
Is it the ballet? Oh! Is it the one in the stage play? I think it might be that one.
Yeah, Dramatic Fanatic.
Yeah, I think it might be that one.
Yeah. If you don't know, the game itself is a boss rush game where you basically just have to fight bosses. And you go through some mini levels.
2D side-scrolling boss rush game.
Yeah.
All hand-drawn animations. Beautiful. I'm sure you've probably heard of Cuphead already.
All the animation.
Absolutely beautiful game.
The inking was done by one lady.
The inking was done by one lady.
Who was pregnant at the time. Created by two brothers originally. This whole game and concept was pushed through. I think it was in development for like 5 to 6 years, I think. I remember we saw it in 2015, released in 2017. Or no, 2014. And then it came out I remember when that trailer came out. And we're like, what is this? Turns out the brothers even took out a mortgage on their house to finish funding the game, as well as they were able to get funding. I believe Microsoft published it on their platforms for a sale. And it was a very big risk from these two guys. They poured their heart and soul into this project. And it was a huge success. It won Game of the Year, didn't it?
No, it didn't win Game of the Year, but it did win Best Audio of the Year from our good old friends at the Gang Awards. the Game Audio... I can't remember what guild. Network Guild, whatever.
So this is just,
Game Audio Network. It's in the URL.
So I want to mention something is that
they won Audio of the Year.
So Walt Disney took a mortgage out on his house to fund Snow White.
Really?
And that became a very big success too. I think that's funny how history kind of repeated itself in a way.
For sure. I think same thing with M. Night Shyamalan.
He did that too?
Took a mortgage on his house after Split came out so he could make Glass, the third in the Unbreakable trilogy.
And that was
he only put, I think, $7 million into the film, or 13, something like that.
That's low.
And they got like $90 million first weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's low for
they got a bunch of money.
Like a modern movie now.
So God bless M. Night Shyamalan. I'm glad he's back, baby.
But back to the Cuphead.
Cuphead, the two brothers and their families all worked on this game. They were able to release it on all platforms eventually. We got it on GOG for PC. Eventually came to Switch. We got it there. It's on Xbox, PlayStation.
Didn't we get it the weekend of?
We did.
And then you bought the soundtrack the next day.
I bought all at once. I bought it. It was $30 altogether. And I was great. Well worth the price.
Yeah, that was well worth your money.
This game is hard as nails, ladies and gentlemen. But it has a soundtrack that is of the big band jazz era. And it is awesome. 3 hours of it. Awesome. In terms of all the soundtrack. I want to bring up the lady who sings the King Dice theme. Alana Bridgewater's her name. And I looked, and she actually does some other work as well. And she has a YouTube channel. She doesn't post on there very much, but she had an original song called Anxiety that she sang. And it was very beautiful. She has a very interesting, uniquely beautiful voice. And shout out to her for singing the Mr. King Dice, which I thought was a man.
And then she does the song in the end of the credits.
And she does the song at the end of the credits. This game is just a delight. It's hard as nails. It's so freaking hard.
It is one of the hardest games.
The game, I would say I'm pretty good at games, but not like an amazingly great. Like I can't beat a Dark Souls game, but I would say I'm a pretty all right gamer. This game was tough, and I was able to beat it, thankfully. And we almost beat the devil on co-op. That was really close.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we almost did that.
It also is a co-op game.
We gave up though.
We gave up though because it was too stinking hard. And I think we sat for 2 hours trying to do it one time.
We were really close too.
We were really close. So it's possible. because when you're playing a co-op, it
jacks up the difficulty even more
because the bosses have more health because, well, you're a second person trying to kill them. So makes sense. Lexi, go to your first track. What's your first favorite track you got going here?
Ooh, that's really tough to.
Well, I'm gonna intro us by saying the introduction theme.
The introduction.
Oh,
the track. The introduction.
The track introduction.
Yeah, that's basically Mr. King.
No, it's not Mr. King Dice. It's like just this intro jazz track.
It's basically
that sets up the game.
It's very similar to what's it called, the King's Court, which is when you fight King Dice. Yeah, it's basically that track, but it's modified.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so,
it's really good. Like,
oh yeah, it gets your blood pumping for just reading the.
I was up late writing all this stuff down, and I was like, man, I'm like, okay, let me put on Cuphead. And shout out to Windows Media Player. I kind of never used it really on my computer the years I've been into PC.
I've always used it,
like building my own PCs and stuff like that. But going to it right now, it works. It's great. And I found out you can put old skins from back in the day on there. So that's really neat too.
He spent a long time doing that. I walked
kind of obtuse, but they work. But Windows Media Player is great. Like if you don't have iTunes, you don't organize your music that way. Windows Media Player is fine.
It's the next best thing.
And I'm kind of getting a little soft spot for it right now. I've used it last night. All my library's there. And I'm like, it just works. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's better programs out there, and I've looked a bunch of them up, but none of them compare to Windows Media Player and the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to say, what's your track, Lexi?
Gosh. So the first island, it has some good tracks. The first island.
I have the Bandcamp link here in the description if you want to just take a look at the list of it.
Well, I have my Spotify.
Or do you have your Spotify? You can look through that. So. Let me talk about real quickly a few of these. Pork Rind's Shop is really good.
That's a banger.
And I was like listening to it and I'm like, this is like way better than I remember it being, because I haven't played this since 2 years ago, I think is when I last played it. And then you got Floral Fury as well.
Oh, that classic, is top tier. Like one of the best. Amazing
track. Probably the best one of the whole, probably the most famous track from the game besides King Dice. Mm-hmm. So I then have I'll say one more and then I'll give it to you, Lexi. Carnival Kerfluffle, which is the one I believe on the roller. Oh, no. It's the one where you're fighting the queen in the castle and all the pastry stuff is trying to hit you with the gumball machine, the cupcake, the waffle. All these things are trying to kill you.
This is the right one.
This is the second.
That's Sugarland Shimmy.
Oh, that's Sugarland Shimmy. Sorry. Carnival Kerfluffle is the one with the roller coaster.
Stupid clown.
The stupid clown.
That took me 4 hours to beat.
It's a great level, but it's freaking hard.
I hate that one.
It's great.
I mean, I don't care for clowns.
No, you know what?
I'm not afraid of clowns, but I hate that clown.
The levels that make me rage the most were mostly levels that you have moving platforms like the dragon one and the beehive one. Those were pretty tough and kind of extremely frustrating, a real challenge. But the worst levels are the flying levels for me. Now, I think the pyramid level's great.
That one's really hard.
It's pretty tough. But the worst level in this game, and the most unfair level, I would say, is the robot junkyard fight.
That one is hard.
I hate the hardest level of the game. It's harder for me than the devil. The devil you can figure out and then do a good job with.
You know that's bad when you take the devil over
I'm sure they
a robot.
Spent lots of time play testing and doing a lot of the difficulty stuff. And also there's an even harder mode you can unlock, which I don't even want to touch.
Expert mode.
Expert mode, I don't even want to touch.
I don't even want to look at it.
So looking at the robot level, they needed way more playtesting on that level. Like Xbox or somebody should have came in and helped them with that. But hey, nothing's perfect in this world, so oh well.
Okay, looking at this stuff now, I like Elder Kettle's theme.
Elder Kettle's theme's pretty good, actually.
Of course, the Die House, that's a good one.
It's a banger.
Ruse of the Ooze is actually pretty good. Floral Fury, of course, is top. I like Clip Joint Calamity. That one's really fun.
Clip Joint Calamity is really good.
Sugarland Shimmy, I like that one. Oh my gosh, I love Aviary Action. That's one of my favorite levels to play.
Really?
I know it's really hard, but it's one of my favorite levels. I love the music. Let's see. I like the Legendary Ghosts. Just that theme. I don't like the Mausoleum.
I have that listed here, Legendary Ghost. It's really good. It's a banger.
And then I don't like any of the,
I think
the coin levels.
The last one I'll mention is One Hell of a Time, which is the music from when you're fighting the devil.
You mean One Heck of a Time?
It's One Hell of a Time, and it's great. It's so amazing, Lexi. Yeah, One Heck of a Time. And it's just, it builds up and it gets going, and it's like, oh my God.
And then when you get to the last stage,
Yep.
oh my God.